Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, The Real Estate Real. I'm your host, Tyler, and thank you very much for tuning in today. If this is your first time, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you for always tuning in, and I really appreciate it. So let's jump right into it. My first year in real estate, and let's go through it and run through it and what it's all about. I had a good time. I don't know if you did, but all right. So 87% of real estate agents actually fail in the first year. I don't know if you know the statistic already, but this is a true statistic from basically things that I've seen in the past and re-looking it up today. So if you are planning on getting into real estate, just actually take this business very serious. It is a lot harder than some people think it is or perceive it out to be. Even myself sometimes. So that's kind of what I want to get into already. So I actually have a background in sales naturally. I worked at Verizon Wireless for a little while, sold cell phones. At one point, I was actually one of the top sales people in the business during the time that I was there. So naturally, I thought that selling real estate would be kind of easy, but there's a big difference in real estate. You don't have a bunch of people coming to you all the time and walking through the doors to actually get your product or get a product from you, because there's a ton of real estate agents out there. And most people are already working with somebody that's owned their previous house, hopefully. If you are a real estate agent, you should be working with all your previous clients and keep following up with them. That's just a tip for you guys. But yeah, most people end up working with their past clients, or they already have an idea of friends and family. It's actually a real statistic too that every person that you probably know knows at least 2 real estate agents themselves. So you're going to be an option for someone. Make sure you stay at the forefront of their mind. That is the first thing I want to say to you guys about anything. Just stay at the forefront of everybody's mind, and try to make your calls as often as possible. Follow up with them as often as possible. Just call them to talk about kids, business, whatever. Just just call your clients. I have to say that some people don't do that, which is really crazy to me. But my expectations were really high in real estate. Coming off sales from Verizon, I was probably sold about 400, 500 phones probably within a year going to real estate. I know it's a lot bigger endeavor. It's a lot bigger purchase in your life, buying a house rather than a phone. But people don't really look at houses the same, I feel like, all the time, and people are really highly active about their phones. But I'm getting off topic. So that was the first thing. The first thing that my expectations were really high in real estate at the time. I figured I was going to sell at least 24 homes in real estate, and I ended up only selling 1 home actually, which was kind of a bummer. But I'm not going to say that I didn't sit here and I worked pretty much almost my hardest at all times. Real estate could be really daunting, and it could be really brain racking if you're sitting making calls all day. Most agents, unlike myself, don't like to go and make cold calls or door knocking, which I did both of, because the reason I did that, if you watched my other channels, is because my sphere, I didn't keep a great connection with my sphere or the people that I went to school with almost 10 years ago. So I started this business pretty much fresh, new. I wanted to know myself that I'm not just going to rely on sphere and referral business, which a lot of people do rely on to get their business. And those are actually some of the people that are in my pipeline later on, but those kept getting pushed back and pushed back. So my first client that I finally got was from an open house, by the way, just so you guys know too. It wasn't for cold calling or sphering, but I do want to get into that as well. Like I said, I was already making calls pretty much every day, sending out my postcards, doing all that stuff. But the first client I was working with actually dropped out of escrow because he didn't qualify for the loan process and I met him at an open house like I just told you guys. But after 8 months of no sales and working so hard, I actually did consider quitting the real estate business in general. But I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I know that there's a lot of money to be made in this business, and there's a lot of money to be made if you focus. And the experience of being a realtor and actually giving somebody the keys is beyond rewarding. Trust me, the first time I gave my clients my keys, they were absolutely ecstatic. And definitely one of the best feelings I ever felt in my life, just seeing somebody with that much joy. So my first client quit on me, and actually, not even a month later, I was really thinking about quitting. I was pretty much devastated. Actually, a former client that I met at another open house that I was doing near Cowline Road in Sacramento, California, ended up actually giving me a call saying that they had been in their lease for a little while, so their lease was supposed to end at the end of this year, and they didn't want to start looking at it until they at least got closer to their lease ending. So finally, this person called me out of the blue and was pretty much like, I had been following up with them, started sending them properties so that they could see through the MLS. They followed up with me and told me it was time and they're ready. and they actually really were really great clients, and they really were ready to jump right into everything. I gave them the lowdown. They were first time home buyers, so I gave them the lowdown on everything going on during the time of pretty much what the competitive offers were, why it was so competitive in certain fields, why it was so competitive in certain markets, and things that they're going to want to do to make their offer more competitive when they pretty much get into, making offers for the home. So they contacted me. We ended up finding a home in Elk Grove, California, and they've really loved it so far. And we closed on that home, so it was a really great experience. But that was my one deal that I had so far in my first year of real estate, pretty much. And that was the one deal that I had. So it was a really long experience just to get one sale, and it was really long. The one thing I do want to say about real estate is that if you, like I said, I had super high expectations getting into real estate. Don't lose that energy. Maintain that energy throughout all the process. That is one thing that I can say I had a little bit of trouble with. I was like, 3 months, 4 months go by. I think that anybody would have trouble with it, but it starts daunting your brain, like, hey, when am I going to make a sale? So I was telling you guys, I want to feel like I'm in a business that pretty much where I feel fluidity throughout my business, and that I'm always working to be the best I could be. So I got a little down on myself in the beginning, then I was super happy and excited and ecstatic when I ended up selling this first home. But it really was just one home, so I have to ask myself going to the next year. I know that I have more clients in my downline, which is really great for me. So I know that 2022 is probably going to be an exceptional year for me. One thing I would say about real estate is that when you're getting in, if you don't immediately jump off, just take your time, be patient, everything, and line everybody up in your downline, because those same people that talk to you in the beginning, in the first couple months of your real estate, if you just keep following up with them, going back to them, following up, making sure all their needs are met, even if they don't want to buy a house right away, making sure you get them pre-qualified or anything like that, or just set the expectations and do a buyer's consultation or seller's consultation with your client so that they could feel like you're really nurturing them and care about them. That is the one thing I would say, always follow up with all your clients, and that is the business. The business is a contact sport, is what they say. So when you're in the business of real estate, you're always going to be wanting to contact people and continuously contacting people. And those people are going to come back right to you later on down the line in the next year. So that's what I'm waiting on. I know in 2022, like I was telling you, my downline is really full right now, so I should have at least 5 or 6 sales in the beginning year of 2022. And I'm really looking forward to that because, like I said, I always want to meet my goals, even if I didn't this year. But the big part of this year is, I might as well go down to answering the question. So was it worth it joining real estate in my first year? And what I'm going to say, you already know based on the pitch and the tone of my voice, and that is absolutely without a doubt. The results obviously may not have been what I wanted, but I progressed substantially in the business in the beginning of my first year, and all throughout my year I've progressed substantially. So I really had a good time. And basically, at times, all the marketing and learning you have to do doesn't seem like it adds up right away, but that's why you have to keep going and everything like that, because eventually it will add up. All the marketing will start to pay off. The big things that I was doing during this year were pretty much doing postcards. YouTube is a really big thing for me right now because I actually just like sitting down, enjoying myself, I think I'm talking to a lot of people. Maybe I'm not talking to a lot of people all the time, obviously, if you look through my views and stuff like that. But it's just a really great way for me to try to be creative and get out to people without feeling like I'm trying to basically cold call them or bother them at their door or anything like that, because obviously I don't feel like I'm bothering all the time. One thing I always say about door knocking and doing that stuff is that I present myself with value all the time. So I'm trying to present myself with value all the time, and that's why I just really like doing these videos, because I feel like we both value them. I value making them. They bring out my creativity and things like that, and I'm sure that the more people that will end up watching this actually value my videos as well. So that is what I've been doing in the first year of real estate, as well as, like, if I didn't already say, sending postcards, doing cold calls, which I've been doing as well, and then following up with my sphere. But one thing I think I already mentioned it in this video, is one thing that I knew that I didn't have a huge sphere, so I wanted to take the time to try to reach out to as many people as possible. They have other things too that you do, like Facebook ads and Instagram, doing anything on social media. So Whew, let me slow down a little bit. And finishing up this video, and so, like I said, I was pretty disappointed about everything going on in my first year of real estate with just making one sale. But the more I started looking into people's videos, I've always been a fan of Graham Stephen and things like Graham Stephen, Grant Cardone, people like that. I've always been a fan of those people, so I started watching as many videos I can. I've already been watching as many videos as I can on him. But there was one point in one of his videos where he actually described his first year in real estate too, and said that his first year was not like a complete, success. Obviously, business wasn't jumping through the roof or anything like that. And the same thing with another person that he mentored. Most realtors actually do take a couple months to get started and get activated in the business. Because like I told you, some people are actually really hesitant to work with, newer realtors, and you want to be basically as savvy as possible so that if you ever get into that situation, you can prove to those type of people that, I'm a great realtor even though I'm fresh in the business. So hearing that type of stuff from people who are very, very successful in the business right now too, it just gave me a spark to where like, okay, like it doesn't pretty much start off all the way. It doesn't jump off all the way. It doesn't, it's not a firework. It's not a rocket ship. There's going to take a little bit of time, so that was one of the things that kept me patient during the process. So like I was telling you, I do have a lot of people in the downline for 2022, so I'm expecting it to be a really, really well year for me. And there's a ton of additional value to take into consideration more than just profit when I'm talking about my first year in real estate. I made a ton of connections with people that I might not have actually made connections with if otherwise, because I'm predominantly actually introvert when being spoken to. Like, I won't actually go out and try to just talk to people out of nowhere. Like if someone's saying there, and even if I thought something was funny they said, I'm just gonna be like, oh, that was funny to me. But extroverts will actually be like, hey, like I heard what you were saying, and start a conversation for it. I'm not that type of person really. So the connections that it made me have so far, just rocking around my block, talking to people in the neighborhood and things like that, will never be replaced, because it actually got me out of my shell and my comfort zone a little bit. Even doing these YouTube videos, I never expected that I would be in front of a camera at all. And doing these YouTube videos, just talking to people and having, intimate conversations pretty much with people about their lives and their well-being and things like that, has really made a difference and a passion in my life that I just want to keep going and, keep making those connections with people. So by far, I would say that was probably one of the best things this year that came from real estate. It wasn't just money, or it never is just money or anything like that. Make sure that if you're going to get into any business, that you're looking to pretty much, be successful and reshape yourself, because that's actually how I believe it. When you're reshaping yourself, you're building those skills. If you aren't already like, Warren Buffett that started at 12 years old, where you're just putting nickels into a weigh machine to do things like that. If you're starting out and you need to reshape yourself, if you need to present yourself as a more professional person, or more courteous person, anything like that, this can help you and it can reshape things. So that's all I have for you today. I'm very glad if you took the time to listen to me. And if you are planning on getting into real estate or any other career for that matter, I just want you to know, just take the steps today. For real. Just take the steps today. Go after it. I know that not everybody has time to go after their dreams all the time if you're working with kids and things like that. But don't let you make excuses. I wouldn't let you make excuses if I was next to you. Don't make excuses for anything like that or anything like that. Go after your goals today. Real estate, not real estate, whatever it is. But go after your goals today. And I really hope you're successful in whatever you do try to achieve, because the process and the journey along the way is fantastic. So that's all I have to say today. Thank you very much for pretty much tuning into my channel today, and I hope you continue to tune in my channel. Of course, like and subscribe. I will be making a video soon on Christmas, the Christmas lights and everything, Christmas in Sacramento, so the holidays, and I really look forward to getting another video with you guys soon. So I'm out of here. You guys have a wonderful day whenever you're watching this. Thank you.